Hi, I am Cheryl Strayed, the author of Wild, Tiny, Beautiful Things, Brave Enough, and Torch, and also some screenplays. And I've co-hosted a couple of podcasts as well. And I am so excited to be leading this workshop with my dear friend, Steve Almond, who I co-hosted the Dear Sugars podcast with. We're doing 5 things I learned about how to nurture an artistic life while keeping track of that almighty list. What we are going to talk about in the 2 hours that we have together, all of us virtually, is how do we feed that fire of our creative and artistic lives? How do we write that book, write that essay, finish that poem, write those lyrics, finish that screenplay? Those are incredible challenges, as every writer knows. And Steve and I are going to really dig deep to figure out how we do it, how we get it done, in particular, when we have challenges when it comes to nurturing not just our own artistic lives, but our family lives and our relationships as well. Now, of course, this is one workshop in a series that Steve Almond is doing on this subject. And his focus is how writers balance, and how creatives balance family life with their work. And what I hope is we're going to dig deep into that, but also expand beyond that. So this workshop could also be for people. You don't have to have kids to take this workshop. Let me put it that way. We will talk about the challenges of parenting while writing, but we'll also talk about the challenges of sustaining relationships, looking after, in some cases, elderly parents, or nurturing our friendships as well as our creative practices. As you probably know, I write the Dear Sugar advice column, and I have been doing that for the past 11 years. And I get so many letters from people who tell me that this is their barrier, their challenge, that they do have that fire within them. They have that sense that either they want to step into writing for the first time, or they are a writer and they're finding that they're having a really hard time finishing projects because they have those relationships with other people, whether it be kids or other people in their lives, that feel more important than artistic life and creative life. So we're going to talk about all aspects of that. I would really love, in this 2 hours that we're going to have together, to share strategies that I've used in my own life. And what I want to tell you is, even though I've managed to seem like a successful writer in the world, these challenges are things that I struggle with every day myself. So I'll be sharing with you not just things that I figured out, 20 years ago. I did figure some things out 20 years ago, and 10 years ago, and 5 years ago, but some things I'm figuring out right alongside you today. What do I do when I have to sit down in front of that blank computer screen and fill it up? So I want to talk strategy. And of course, as Dear Sugar, and Steve, as you all know, being my co-host on the Dear Sugars podcast, we love to get into the emotional realm too, not discovering and exploring those barriers that are outside of us, like kids or elderly parents or spouses or partners, but also those things inside of us that keep us from making good on our intentions. This workshop is all about that. What is your intention? How do you make it come true? We're going to work on that for those 2 hours. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to maybe write a bit. We're going to take your questions, and we're going to share everything we know about how to get the work done. I hope you'll join us. Happy trails.